So let's start with the topic respiration. As everybody knows that all living cells, all living organisms, plant as well as animals respire. Then the respiration is very important for every living organism. Why? Why this is important? Because every living organisms, every living cells require energy. For what? They require energy. Why they require energy? I mean, every plant or every cell living organism, every cell required energy. Why so? Why they require the energy, and from where this energy is coming? So as we know, for their own activity, suppose that in a plant they required energy, plant cell required energy. Why so? Why they are needed energy for their activities like photosynthesis, activity for transpiration, root also required energy to absorption of minerals and water from the soil. They also required energy in building material like a carbohydrate, protein, fat, etc. So all activity need energy. As we are the man or animal, we also need energy for speak, for catabolic process. What I have or we have inside our intestine digestion process required energy. Every activity's biological process need energy. The main thing is that this energy which is required by the living organism, living cells, plant and animals, this energy is coming from where? So this is coming from where? This is very important task. So the energy is coming from the process called respiration. And this respiration is required for every living cell to maintain the energy for the vital activity and the activity of the cell. Then how it will come? So if we are going to take care of the respiration process, so everybody knows respiration is the process by way of which the breakdown of sucrose, glucose or carbohydrate, that is ultimately glucose, which gives rise the carbon dioxide as well as energy in form of some type of heat and light. So respiration is the process, may I read and write only, is the process, what? Respiration is the process by which the breakdown of glucose, ultimately glucose, but we can say the food material, that is जो हम खाते पीते हैं फूड मटेरियल, अल्टीमेटली वो ग्लूकोज बनता है एंड ग्लूकोज further break bond of glucose further break and gives rise the energy. So this is the glucose. May I write in this way the formula, chemical formula of glucose C6H12O6, जो भी हमने खाया पिया फूड मटेरियल का, अल्टीमेटली वो ग्लूकोज बनता है सेल्स में एंड दिस ग्लूकोज का फार्मूला इज takes oxygen from the environment from anywhere. Plants में ये रूट से, स्टोमेटा, lenticles से ऑक्सीजन सप्लाई होती है to the cells of the plant, and in man or animals the oxygen from the lungs. एनवायरमेंट से ऑक्सीजन लंग्स को जाती है, देन गो टू सेलुलर प्रोसेस. So now we are with the process of cellular breakdown of glucose. So glucose plus oxygen, it gives rise the carbon dioxide, that is breakdown of glucose in form of carbon dioxide and water release here plus the energy sometime in form of heat also and light. So this heat convert into energy. So जो एनर्जी निकलती है उससे थोड़ी सी गर्मी मिलती है respiration के after that, and this energy by chemical reactions convert into energy, form of energy, chemical energy, which is stored inside the cells only. This energy is stored in form of chemical energy called ATP. See, I'll further repeat, the energy which is coming from the conversion or breakdown of glucose molecule in case of rupturing of bond, glucose molecule के bond टूटते हैं, this gives rise the carbon dioxide, it is emerging outside, and water in form of water and the energy. This chemical energy convert in the form of ATP, so called adenosine triphosphate, or you can say it is ATP, also sometimes known as currency of energy. So if we are going to balance the reaction, 6 molecules of water and 6 molecules of carbon dioxide is merging out, and by breakdown of 1 molecule of 1 mole of glucose, here further I explain little later that 1 molecule of glucose after the breakdown of, इसको अगर हमने थोड़ा इसका कैटाबोलिक प्रोसेस किया, 1 molecule of glucose gives rise to 6 molecules of carbon dioxide and 6 molecules of water, and similarly 38 ATP. ATP 38 ATP of energy, that is adenosine triphosphate. एक ग्लूकोज मॉलिक्यूल से आपको इतनी एनर्जी मिलती है 36 ATP of energy after the catabolic breakdown. And then what do you mean by the catabolic process? There are 2 process. लिविंग प्रोसेस में एक होती है कैटाबोलिक and second is anabolic process. In case of catabolic process, that is catabolic means, catabolism means the breakdown, dissociation. So what dissociation? Dissociation of bond of the molecules of glucose, and further dissociation, you know, the energy is released out, and that energy restored in form of ATP, which also known as currency of energy, restored inside the cell. और उस एनर्जी से ही सेल अपना काम करते हैं, एनाबॉलिक प्रोसेस करते हैं. Then what is anabolism? The formation. Anabolism means not a destruction but formation. If we go the process of photosynthesis, clearly अगर आप photosynthesis process देखेंगे तो somewhere you will find that this is the reverse process of respiration. In case of photosynthesis, you may see or you may imagine, you may remember the last lecture that 6 CO2 molecules we have taken. In case of photosynthesis, I am just remind to you, the photosynthesis is what? Photosynthesis is the process in which the carbon dioxide with the help of water molecules and in presence of light as well as chlorophyll. इसमें 6 कार्बन मॉलिक्यूल्स लिया आपने कार्बन डाइऑक्साइड का, 6 ऑफ वाटर मॉलिक्यूल, और अगर इसकी उपस्थिति में लाइट हो, साइड लाइट होगा एंड chlorophyll, then what is the presence? Chlorophyll, light, CO2, H2O, and then you will get again the glucose and oxygen. What I told you earlier, 6 oxygen molecules were there, isn't it? So इसकी रिवर्स प्रोसेस में हमने फोटोसिंथेसिस सिखाया, that was the photosynthesis. Now what I am trying to say कि अगर आप सिमिलरली देखेंगे फोटोसिंथेसिस is the reverse process of respiration or vice versa, that is respiration again, the reaction is said, the respiration is the opposite or reverse process of the photosynthesis, एक दूसरे के उल्टे ही हैं, isn't it? उसमें ग्लूकोज का फॉर्मेशन हुआ था फोटोसिंथेसिस में, that was the anabolic process. फोटोसिंथेसिस में ग्लूकोज बनता है, isn't it? फॉर्मेशन ऑफ ग्लूकोज होता है और ऑक्सीजन निकलती है, isn't it? I had told you earlier. In case of photosynthesis, ये प्रोडक्ट बनते हैं, फोटोसिंथेसिस के प्रोडक्ट क्या होते हैं? ग्लूकोज एंड ऑक्सीजन, और यही ग्लूकोज, ये फॉर्मेशन, दैट इज एनाबॉलिक प्रोसेस. बट इन केस ऑफ respiration, this is the catalytic process, that means this glucose has to break down. ये ग्लूकोज ब्रेक डाउन होता है in presence of nothing else but enzyme. Here enzyme may be there, and this enzyme, the process of, so here is the process of photosynthesis. So may I say here is the respiration. Now the second thing is that I had somewhere asked to you that burning as well as combustion in chemistry. So I have told you earlier also that combustion is the complete oxidation of the food material, complete oxidation altogether. Here is the burning and respiration. Is there any difference between the burning and respiration? Our question is that what is the difference? What is the difference between what? Burning and respiration. Respiration and burning. So here earlier it was in chemistry that what is the difference between combustion and burning. I had told you all. The combustion is complete oxidation of the substance material. It may be food material or whatever else. Food material भी हो सकता है, anything else. Substance, any substance, complete oxidation of the substance is the combustion. And what was burning? Burning was the, earlier I told you, the burning was the, burning is the incomplete or incomplete. Partial burning is the partial oxidation. That was burning. Right now, here we have taken the topic of respiration. Then our duty to tell you that is there any difference between the respiration and burning also? Yeah. What is difference? The respiration is the, respiration is the respiration is the process by way of which living organism. Here is the biochemical process, I can say. Respiration is the process, not only process, is the biochemical process. That means the living organism must be there. In another way, I can say, as we can say, the respiration for living organism. Respiration is the process of oxidation by help of living organism or living cell. Cell is required. If living cell is there, the same burning is the respiration. So burning is the process of living cells. Respiration is the process of living cells. And what is burning? Is the physiochemical process. Physiochemical. There is no need for living organism. लिविंग ऑर्गेनिज्म से रहेगा, रिस्पिरेशन होगा. फिजियोकेमिकल प्रोसेस इज द बर्निंग. And in case of respiration, the enzyme are required, and these enzymes are present inside the cell only. सेल के अंदर रहते हैं एंजाइम्स, और देन वो आपका रिस्पायर होगा, कैटाबोलिक एनर्जी बनेगी, कैटाबॉलिज्म होगा. बट इन केस ऑफ burning, there is no need of any enzyme. Simple burning. And what is the product of respiration as well as burning? Product पे आते हैं तो burning gives rise what? Heat and light. Burning के बाद में product क्या बनते हैं? Heat and light energy. But in case of respiration, you will get the energy, that is biochemical energy, which is stored inside the cell organisms or cells, and these cells give rise to energy for their own self, for to complete, or you can say for their living activity. जो पौधे और सेल अपनी खुद, जैसे हम लोग बोल रहे हैं, काम कर रहे हैं, we need energy and that energy is coming from the ATP only after the respiration. Fine. So see you on what is the difference between them. Now we are going to deal with the type of respiration. On the basis of presence of oxygen, there are two living organisms. There are two types of respiration. Now next is type of respiration, and this type of reaction will be in presence on the basis of presence of oxygen. The respiration are of two types. These are aerobic respiration and anaerobic respiration. That means in presence of oxygen, here absence of oxygen. When the cell organism require oxygen to complete the breakdown of the glucose, is called the aerobic respiration. Aerobic means presence of oxygen. And what do you mean by the anaerobic? Without oxygen, that is in absence of oxygen, anaerobic respiration is going on. And what is the product here? If glucose molecules have to break down, it gives rise to 6 CO2, 6 water molecules, and 36 ATP, 38 ATP of energy. इसमें 2 ATP यूज हो जाती है माइनस, तो you will get the finally 36 ATP of energy. Where earlier I had written 38 ATP, this is again you will maintain the correctness for 36 ATP of energy is there. In case of where we had written 38 ATP of energy, you need to take care of that 2 molecule of energy used during the process. 2 molecule of ATP energy उसमें यूज कर ली जाती है, then what remains is 36 ATP only. So total outcome is 38 ATP during the one molecule breakdown of one molecule of glucose gives rise total 38 ATP of energy, but 2 mole of energy, 2 mole of ATP used by the cell during the process. सेलुलर रेस्पिरेशन हो रहा था, ग्लाइकोलाइसिस द प्रोसेस, वहां पर 2 ATP खुद ही यूज हो जाती है. एंड व्हाट रिमेन्स, व्हाट ए लेफ्ट, द 36 ATP रिमेन्स टू यूज फॉर द सेल्स ओनली. 36 ATP बचती है. बट हियर इन केस ऑफ एनारोबिक रेस्पिरेशन, देयर टोटल ब्रेकडाउन ऑफ हियर 6 CO2 after breakdown of one molecule of glucose, and here what is there in case of anaerobic, the glucose molecule breakdown. Here is the in absence of oxygen, that is without oxygen. So you can say fermentation, whatever. Ethanolic fermentation with help of enzyme and gives rise to ethanol, that is C2H5OH, alcohol. Alcoholic respiration also called. And here only 2 ATP of molecules are generated. Transfer. So aerobic respiration and respiration. In case of aerobic respiration, there are 30 ATP is the final result with the help of carbon dioxide and water molecules. Here is the main product after the anaerobic respiration is the alcohol and ethanol. You can see sometimes you will get in the fermentation reaction is the same reaction, and here is the energy is very less. The formation of energy converted to 2 ATP only. Now one thing is there, the ATP is what? Adenosine triphosphate, adenosine. As we know all that energy never can be created, neither can be created, and neither can be destroyed. So in case of energy, what do you mean by this one? As Einstein, whatever energy conservation rule, the energy neither can be created nor can be destroyed. It can be transferred from one form to another. So what is going on in case of ATP? Suppose that here it can be converted into ADP, that is adenosine diphosphate. That is 2 molecules of phosphorus is there, and here 3 molecules triphosphate. So if one phosphate molecule break down, 3 phosphate ATP is there. Here is ADP, that is 2 adenosine diphosphate. 1 phosphate molecule का bond break हो करके release हुआ somewhere to use. Same thing, and by the anabolic process फिर कोई anabolic process होगी, then 8 ATP इसमें ऐड होगा plus phosphate here, then it's again convert to ATP. So called energy cycle. So I think it's very clear to you, that is ATP, adenosine triphosphate, and here is the ADP, that is adenosine diphosphate. ATP to ADP and ADP to ATP. I think this is somewhat more sufficient to you with the topic of respiration. Thank you for all.